Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Sunday. I pray that everybody's doing well. Sorry for the delay. I know it's a spur of a moment, but I really want to open up the chat lines for this discussion. Um, I'm really concerned about things that's going on with our youth today. Some of them are doing what they're supposed to do. There are some that are um, really leaning towards. Um, a dangerous area. We've been having a lot of um, lost with our youth. I don't know if people are aware of it this past couple of weeks and months, actually years. When it come down to car accidents and some of our youth are losing their lives. It doesn't really matter what ethnicity our children are children. Um, I'm concerned, and I just want some of your comments, and I want your opinions of what you think about the topic. Can the next generation handle the mantle? Um, I know that in my time as a child, uh, we had discipline. Our parents had serious discipline. Um, there's some things that we could not say, some things we could not do, some places we couldn't even go. Um, and so I'm really concerned about some of our younger parents that might not uh, understand the importance of safety um, when it comes down to, especially when it comes down to teenagers around 15, 16, 17, when they get their permits and everything, when they get ready to get their license and everything driving. I mean, it's some things that, I personally have seen on the road because my job sometimes keeps me on the road. Um, Along with my supervisor, at times we had to do a lot of deliveries for different customers and everything, and things that we see on the highway from taxing um, to a point that you can turn to the side and see at numerous times, not just children but adults texting and driving. I mean, on the highway, going like 70, maybe 75 miles per hour. Uh, and at times when you're doing that and you have no control, it only takes a split second for you to hit somebody, uh, and literally either cause some damage to the person in front of you or around you or possible death. Um, we've recently in Sampson County, I don't know if anybody have heard or you might have heard about four teenagers that lost their lives this past week and a half. And they're actually, I believe they funeralized one of them yesterday or a couple of days ago. But the point is that these kids were speeding with this child, along with maybe three other kids in the car. Um, and it was almost, I don't know the full potential of what actually happened, but I'm quite sure it was a chase. And they hit a tree and instantly killed all of them. I just want really parents that do have teenagers, please be aware of, if you can, their whereabouts and who they're hanging out with. And also, please take caution of where you put your car keys, because kids that have a tendency, some of them, not all of them. I'm not, marking every child, but there are some kids that will take your keys while you at work or sleeping. Sometimes, parents work third shift or whatever, and without permission, they'll take your keys and drive your car. How do I know? I did it when I was young, and it's by the grace of God that I'm here. But just take caution, take precaution. Um, it's a lot of things that we're seeing in this world, and I'm seeing I don't know about y'all, but I'm seeing a lot of our youth. Um, it's constantly on the news. It's really depressing and it's sad that they didn't really get to live their full potential of their life. to just have it snuffed out at the age of 16, 17, 18, Um, you know, just be aware of these things. I mean, for real, especially if it's a school night or the day before school night, your child ain't got no business on nobody's street at 2 a.m. I put it out there. So if a lot of people come after me, it's cool. But your child ain't got no business being on the street at 2 a.m. or 12 or whatever the day before school. Um, there was a time, I mean, I'm going to really tell my age right now, but there was a time where the neighborhood took care of the kids, of your kids. I mean, in my day, if I got in trouble, uh, which I did, me and a couple of my friends, we was a couple of knuckleheads. We were climbing some of our neighbors' trees, that whether they had pear trees or any kind of plum trees, and we would literally climb up those trees and take the fruit and get what we needed, not even knowing, Mr. Johnson or whoever is outside, he's coming at, hey, you kids get out of my tree or whatever. And he would literally yank you down from the trees in his yard, and he would spank you, whether it be with a belt or with a switch. Most likely it's going to be a switch in my days. And then he would call your mom, when she gets home from work. This is during the summertime. This ain't the school time. So this is when we out of school. And so he would call your mom and say, Miss Flick or whoever. Usually they call her by her first name, and they say, I call Stan and some friends up in the trees. So I spanked them. And she said, okay, thank you. Thank you for telling me. And then when you come back home, she'll have a discussion with you, which will be very short because majority of the time she's not going to talk long because she's going to start swinging with a belt or a switch. And then she'll tell you, when your dad get home, I'm going to let him handle you. So you get 3 beatings in one day. So we don't see that no more. Of course, we consider that child abuse. But it saved our life. For real, saved our life. But, let me hear from you. Let me hear from you. Let me hear from you on the chat line. I want to know what you think about it. What you think about it, your opinions, and I need some feedback from you guys to let me know what you think about it. What you think about it. We just need to continue to pray for these families and for all the young parents that do have teenagers, and whether you're married or single, just take caution. I know it's hard at times, because you wear so many hats and have so many responsibilities as parents, which I understand. But please, please, please talk to your child. And if you can, know their whereabouts. These are teenagers. I'm not talking about when they're in college. There's too much you can do when they're in college because they're grown. They really literally on their own, even though they live on campus. But, every now and then you can see them on a holiday or whatever. And I'm talking about your teenagers, these younger kids. Please, please take the time out to talk to your child. I'm want to really concerned also, with some of our children that are being raised and have received the principles, from parents about life, about their spiritual walk with God. Continue to plant positive seeds of wisdom in your children. These seeds go a long way. I was very fortunate and blessed to have not just my parents, but other peers and some of my friends' parents really give me words of wisdom that helped me along the way. Um, and those things we took very serious, um, because they were people of wisdom. And so, as these things occur, let's get back to the principles of really speaking and talking to our children and also listening to what they have to say and how they're saying it, because we really don't know the things they have to face when they leave our doors. Um, we've done that a lot with our son Aaron, who's now a man. He's on his own, got his own house and everything, so he's living his life to the fullness. But he learned by example. So the only way that he really learned was to watch us. Um, children are just like sponges. They just absorb so much. They take in so much of what you do, what you say. Um, they're looking at you when you don't think they're looking. And so, these things we're not going to be perfect. Don't get me wrong. We're not perfect, but we do have to take caution of what we do, what we say around our children. Um, it's very important, very important. Some of these things that we take the time out, um, to talk to our children. You don't have to always spank them. There is a time and place for that. But there's a time that you need to listen to their voice and hear their heart. So I just want to get on here for this short moment and also keep our podcast, Trust the Process in Prayer. We're going through a lot of technical issues that I got to do a lot of research on and find out what's going on. But there's some of our tapings that we do live. It may appear and it might not appear. So if you don't see it, also remember you can always go on Safari TV at YouTube, our YouTube channel, Safari TV, and just put in Stanley and Renee, Safari TV, Trust the Process, and you'll see some of these shows popping up on our channel. And also subscribe when you see the opportunity to subscribe, and also give us your comments. Um, but we need to really, 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 really um, get mentorship back into our neighborhoods. Um, you know, whether it be your neighbors, whether it be your uncles, your aunts, your best friends, whoever you may trust to be around your children, uh, to do some mentorship. It really does take a village to raise a child. It does. It takes a lot of people, not just, just the parents alone or the single parent, but it takes a lot of people. It takes families and friends to step up the game and participate. Um, it really, really, I know it will help their life along the way. And I just want to give a short um, podcast this morning. I know it's a spare of a moment. I do a lot of things spare of a moment, but it sort of keeps me on guard and also keep you on guard. But if you see this taping, please also, you are still welcome to give comments and give us your opinions of what you think. But that's some of the things I want to talk to you this morning. And just be prayerful for our nation, for our country, for the world. Uh, Everything that's going on, you're seeing the wars in Israel, a lot of things happening. We really are in a dispensation uh, of the scripture revelation. We're limiting it. A lot of people don't believe that, but we are. And I'm giving a shout out to the saints of God, to the people of God, to stay on the post, to stay in prayer, uh, to stay very vigilant in your praying and your fasting. Um, for this nation, for this world. Um, the next generation is going to be fighting a battle. There's so many areas of battles they're going to be fighting, and we really need to lift them up in prayer. Um, the world is only going to get better when we make it better and be aware of what's going on and not being so um, closed-minded and wearing blinds and covering our eyes and pretending like it's not there, but it's there. And give your voice, let your voice be heard. And also let your vote be heard. All right. Have a great day. I'm not going to hold you long, you guys. I know some of you are going to church or you're out and about because it is Sunday. All right. Take care. We love you guys.